Welcome to DLM Tutoring. Today, we're going to be working on Common Core 8EEC7B. This is part 1. Solve linear equations with rational number coefficients, including equations with variables on both sides, and whose solutions require expanding expressions using the distributive property and collecting like terms. On IXL, this is skill 8W3, model and solve equations using algebra tiles. So with this first question, it asks, which set of algebra tiles represent the equation 5x equals 20? In order to do a problem like this, we first need to represent the equation that we're given, 5x equals 20, as a set of algebra tiles. I'm not going to rely on the answers that they give me. I'm going to create my own algebra tiles first. So we do this by having our x represented as a green rectangle. I have 5 x's, so I'm going to make 5. In order to represent the 20, I need to use 1s. Well, as algebra tiles for a 1, I'm going to be using a small yellow square that looks like this. So now I've represented my situation with 5 x's and 20 1s. So I'm ready to go back and see what matches. I'm only going to be looking at the ones that have 5 x's like this. So immediately I can cross out these bottom two because they don't have 5 x's. Then when I evaluate the last two, I see that this one is too small because it's only 5 times 3, which is 15. So my answer is the second choice. Let's take a look at another example. Which equation does the set of algebra tiles represent? In this case, I'm going to be working backwards. So instead of writing out what the algebra tiles look like, I'm going to be writing out what the equation is, looking at each part by itself. So the first part is negative x, and I put a negative x. The next part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a positive 8, so that's a plus 8, equal sign, and then I'm going to count my next numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the other side is equal to 10. So the equation I come up with is negative x plus 8 equals 10. When I look to match against my choices, if it doesn't end in a 10, it's not going to be a good choice. So these two are first eliminated. Then I see that it has to be a positive 10 like I have, so my answer is right here. Remember, always do your work first, then check the multiple choice answers. In order to model and solve equations using algebra tiles, you'll need to memorize the algebra tile key, as shown here. Notice all of your negatives are in red, and for your positives, you have x squared as a large blue square, x as a rectangle, and 1 represented as a small yellow square. Model and solve equations using algebra tiles. You'll need to remember, when you cross the line of the equal symbol, you must change the sign of the term to its opposite. An easy way to remember that is that any time that you flip the line, you must flip the sign. Finally, as you're working on solving equations, you have to remember to isolate your variable by using inverse operations. For a reminder on inverse operations, they're operations that undo each other. For instance, addition undoes subtraction, subtraction undoes addition. Multiplication undoes division, division undoes multiplication. Thank you for watching DLM Tutoring. Please remember to follow, like, and subscribe. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, here on YouTube.